As I'm recording this, right now, the United States and Iran are trading strikes. Again, the ceasefire already cracking. The historic deal Trump signed just 10 days ago, Iran just drone struck a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump called it a foolish violation. The US hit back. And Israel? Israel is bombing Lebanon. MJ, everyone is telling you this is peace. I'm going to show you, using data, history, and cold logic, that we are living through one of the most unstable weeks in modern geopolitics. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening, why it matters to you, and what my analysis tells us could come next. Let's go. Okay, quick context, because the mainstream media is not giving you this cleanly. June 2025, Israel launches what they called the 12-day war. They bomb Iran's military sites and nuclear facilities. The US joins in, dropping bunker buster bombs on Fordow and Natanz. February 28, 2026, the big one. The US and Israel launch joint strikes on Iran, and they assassinate Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Gone. That's the moment this became a real war. Iran retaliates, missiles fly. The Strait of Hormuz, the choke point for 20% of the world's oil, gets blocked. Gas prices spike. The global economy takes a hit. April 2026, a fragile ceasefire holds barely. June 17, 2026, Trump signs what he calls the Islamabad Memorandum with Iran's new president, Pezeshkian. A deal, a 60-day framework. And then, literally last Thursday, June 26th, Iran drones a cargo ship. Trump retaliates with airstrikes. Iran hits back at US bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. That's where we are today. The deal is 10 days old and already on fire. Here's what I want you to actually understand. The three fault lines that make this so dangerous. Fault line number 1, the deal doesn't include Lebanon. This is huge, and nobody is explaining it properly. The US-Iran memorandum technically calls for peace on all fronts, including Lebanon. But Israel was not part of those negotiations, and Israel is still actively bombing southern Beirut. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Hezbollah's leader already called the new Lebanon-Israel Framework Agreement, signed just 2 days ago, null and void. He said it's humiliating and a surrender of sovereignty. Iran says, if Israel keeps bombing Lebanon, the ceasefire is over. Israel says, we're staying in southern Lebanon regardless. Trump says, the ceasefire is good. Also, you'll find out what happens to Iran if they keep this up. You see the problem? 3 different countries with 3 different definitions of what this deal even means. Fault line number 2, Iran's nuclear program is still unresolved. Here's the part that should give you chills. The intelligence community, the Defense Intelligence Agency, put out a report saying Iran may have moved most of its enriched uranium before the US strikes happened, which means the whole reason this war was supposedly fought might not have been achieved. The deal requires Iran to allow IAEA inspectors in. Iran hasn't done that yet. Zero uranium enrichment is the US demand. Iran hasn't agreed to that either. The nuclear question, the original reason for all of this, is still wide open. Fault line number 3. The Strait of Hormuz is still not fully open. The whole global economy is waiting on this. Oil prices fell when the deal was signed, but after Iran's drone attack last Thursday, tanker traffic slowed. The UN paused its evacuation of stranded ships. The US Treasury Secretary says gas prices will come down, but experts are warning they might not reach pre-war levels for the rest of 2026. One choke point, 1/5 of the world's oil, still being contested. Now here's where it gets interesting, because I ran this situation through several analytical frameworks, and the pattern is striking. When you look at the incentive structures of all the players, Trump wants a win. He wants to be the president who ended the Iran threat. The deal, even a fragile one, is politically valuable, but he also can't look weak. Hence, you'll find out. Hence, more strikes on June 26th. Iran's new leadership needs to survive politically. They lost Khamenei. Their economy is destroyed. Inflation hit 88% in June. Their military is degraded. They need relief, but they also cannot appear to completely capitulate to domestic hardliners. Israel has the most complex position. Netanyahu is running for re-election. His domestic critics say he mishandled the war. He needs to show strength, which means staying in Lebanon. but that directly undermines the deal Trump is trying to protect. The AI pattern here, this is what's called a multi-party prisoner's dilemma with asymmetric information. Every player has incentives to defect, to break the deal, while blaming the other side, which is exactly what we're watching play out in real time. The 60-day clock is ticking, Switzerland talks are ongoing, and simultaneously missiles are still flying. This is not peace. This is managed instability. So what does this all mean? The world just witnessed the United States go to war with Iran, the largest US military operation in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq War. Iran's supreme leader was killed. Nuclear sites were bombed. The global economy was disrupted for months. And right now, as the ink dries on a deal, both sides are still shooting. The most important thing I can tell you is this: don't let anyone simplify this for you. This isn't Trump won or Iran won. This is a region-wide restructuring that is still actively happening, and the next 60 days will determine whether the world gets a real peace deal or a second, more devastating escalation. I'll be tracking every development with data, with AI analysis, with clarity. If you want to actually understand the world, not just react to it, subscribe and hit the bell, because the next update on this could come tomorrow morning. See you then.